You know that feeling when you're scrolling through your phone at 2 a.m., knowing you should sleep, but you keep going anyway. That's your brain on autopilot, chasing easy, avoiding anything that feels hard. I used to think growth happened when I felt good, when things clicked into place naturally, when I was in the zone. Turns out, I had it completely backwards. The people who actually change their lives don't wait for motivation. They don't optimize for comfort. They do the opposite. They pick the hard thing on purpose. And I'm not talking about suffering for the sake of it. I'm talking about something the Stoics figured out 2,000 years ago that most of us completely miss today. Let me show you what I mean. Your brain is basically a survival machine from the Stone Age. Back then, conserving energy meant staying alive. If you found a safe cave with food, you stayed there. Exploring meant risking death. Fast forward to now, you're not running from lions, but your brain still treats discomfort like danger. A cold shower feels like a threat. A difficult conversation feels like combat. Your nervous system can't tell the difference between real danger and just being uncomfortable. So what happens? You avoid it, you hit snooze, you skip the workout, you don't send that message. You tell yourself you'll do it tomorrow when you feel more ready. Except tomorrow never feels ready either. Modern life makes this worse. Everything's designed to be frictionless. Food delivered to your door, infinite entertainment one click away. Algorithms that show you exactly what you already like. Your comfort zone isn't just a zone anymore. It's a prison with really nice furniture. And here's the trap. The more comfortable you get, the more any discomfort feels unbearable. You lose your tolerance for hard things. Your capacity for struggle shrinks. This is why people who have it all often feel empty. They've optimized their entire life for ease, and ease doesn't build anything meaningful. Marcus Aurelius was literally the emperor of Rome. He could have had anything he wanted. Unlimited pleasure, zero consequences. Instead, every morning he practiced something called premeditatio malorum. Sounds fancy, but it just means imagining worst-case scenarios before they happen. He'd think, what if I lose everything today? What if people betray me? What if I fail? This wasn't pessimism, it was preparation. When bad things actually happened, and they did, constantly, he wasn't blindsided. He'd already lived through it mentally. But the Stoics went further than that. They didn't just imagine hardship, they chose it. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, would periodically live like he was broke, eating cheap food, sleeping on the floor, not because he had to, because he wanted to prove to himself that poverty wasn't actually scary. This is the key distinction most people miss. There's suffering that happens to you, and there's adversity you choose on purpose. Random suffering is chaos. It breaks people down. Chosen adversity is training. It builds you up. When you pick the hard thing intentionally, when you set the terms, your brain learns something crucial. Discomfort won't kill you. Actually, you might even get stronger from it. That's psychological immunity, and you can't buy it. You can't hack it. You can only earn it through repetition. Everyone talks about ice baths now, cold plunges, Wim Hof breathing. And yeah, that stuff works. But if that's all you think productive discomfort is, you're missing the point. Let me give you some examples that actually matter. Extended focus. Put your phone in another room and work on one thing for 2 hours straight. No switches, no checks, just depth. It'll feel wrong at first. Your brain will scream for novelty. Push through anyway. That's the discomfort that builds real skill. Intentional solitude. Spend a full day alone with your thoughts. No podcasts, no music, no scrolling, just you and silence. Most people can't handle 15 minutes of this. But this is where you actually figure out what you think, not what the algorithm fed you. Constructive criticism. Ask someone you trust to tear apart your work. Actually listen without defending yourself. It stings, but you learn more from 5 minutes of real feedback than 5 years of people telling you you're great. These aren't random challenges. They're strategically chosen, and they all share the same underlying principles. Delayed gratification, doing the thing that sucks now for the payoff later. Your brain hates this. Train it anyway. Embracing vulnerability, showing up when you might fail, when people might judge you, when you don't feel ready. That's where growth lives. Disciplined action, not when you feel like it, not when it's convenient, on the days when it's the last thing you want to do. Here's how you build your own discomfort menu. Start small. Pick one thing that makes you slightly uncomfortable, not traumatic, not dangerous, just resistant. Do it every day for a week. Notice what happens. You'll adapt faster than you think. Then add another. Stack them gradually. This isn't about punishing yourself. It's about expanding your range. Becoming comfortable with being uncomfortable. Your brain physically changes when you challenge it. This isn't motivational nonsense. It's neuroscience. There's a principle called hormesis. Small doses of stress make biological systems stronger. This works for muscles when you lift weights, works for your immune system when you're exposed to germs, and it works for your brain when you expose it to controlled discomfort. Every time you push through something hard, your brain strengthens the neural pathways associated with perseverance, focus, emotional regulation. It's literally building new wiring. And here's the interesting part about dopamine. Most people think dopamine is the pleasure chemical. It's not. It's the anticipation chemical, the wanting chemical. When you scroll social media, play video games, eat junk food, you get tiny dopamine hits constantly. Your baseline shoots up. Now, normal things feel boring. You need more stimulation to feel anything. But when you practice discomfort, when you delay gratification, intentionally, you reset that baseline. Suddenly, simple things feel satisfying again. A good conversation, a finished project, a quiet morning. Your reward system recalibrates. Long-term, this shows up in ways you don't expect. Better emotional regulation. When something goes wrong, you don't spiral. You've trained yourself to handle discomfort, so problems feel manageable. Enhanced problem solving. When you're used to sitting with difficulty, you don't panic under pressure. You think clearly when it matters most. Improved decision-making. You're not constantly optimizing for what feels good in the moment. You can see the bigger picture. Choose the hard right over the easy wrong. This compounds. The person who can consistently do hard things doesn't just accomplish more. They become different, more capable, more resilient, more free. So how do you actually integrate this into real life without turning into a masochist? Start with intention. Every morning, ask yourself, what's one uncomfortable thing I could do today that would make me better? Then do that thing first, before your brain talks you out of it. Build rituals around discomfort. Make it predictable. Your brain resists the unknown, but it adapts to patterns. Same time, same challenge, becomes automatic. And here's the part most people skip. Celebrate the effort, not just the outcome. You showed up even though you didn't want to. That's the win. The results will follow, but the process is where the transformation happens. The joy isn't in the comfort you've earned. It's in the person you become through the struggle. Someone who doesn't flinch when things get hard. Someone who sees obstacles as opportunities. That clarity you're searching for, it's on the other side of the thing you're avoiding. The confidence you want, it's built by doing the thing you're afraid of, over and over, until it's not scary anymore. This is your ongoing journey, not a destination, not a hack, a practice. Becoming anti-fragile means getting stronger from chaos, not just surviving it. The world's going to keep throwing curveballs. You can spend your life dodging them, or you can train yourself to catch them. Your call, but if you want to actually grow, if you want to build something that lasts, you already know what you need to do. Pick the hard thing, do it on purpose, and watch what happens, because on the other side of that discomfort, that's where you find out who you actually are. The discomfort paradox, why running from pain creates more suffering. Here's something nobody tells you about avoiding discomfort. It doesn't actually work. You skip the hard conversation. The tension doesn't go away. It builds, festers, turns into resentment that poisons everything. You avoid the workout. Your body doesn't thank you. It gets weaker. Now climbing stairs feels hard. You dodge the project that scares you. The fear doesn't shrink. It grows. Now everything feels impossible. This is the paradox. The more you run from discomfort, the more uncomfortable your life becomes. Let me tell you about my friend Jake. Smart guy, talented designer, but he had this pattern. Every time a client gave him critical feedback, he'd ghost. Just disappear. Stop responding to emails. He thought he was protecting himself from feeling bad. What actually happened? His reputation tanked. Word spread that he couldn't handle critique. Projects dried up. He ended up way more stressed, way more anxious, way more uncomfortable than if he'd just dealt with the feedback in the first place. The discomfort he avoided, maybe 2 hours of feeling criticized. The discomfort he created, months of financial stress and self-doubt. See how that works. Your nervous system is like a muscle. When you avoid stress, it atrophies. It loses its capacity to handle pressure. Think about it. If you never lifted anything heavy, picking up a grocery bag would eventually feel difficult. Your body adapts to whatever you regularly demand of it. Same thing happens psychologically. If you only do things that feel easy, your threshold for this is too hard keeps dropping. Soon, everything feels overwhelming. Returning a phone call feels like climbing Everest. This is why people who seem to have it easy often fall apart when real adversity hits. They never built the tolerance. Their first major setback destroys them because they have no reference point for getting through hard things. Meanwhile, the person who's been practicing discomfort, they're almost bored by challenges that would paralyze someone else. It's not that they're tougher genetically, they just trained differently. The Stoics had a name for this, the comfort trap. Epictetus, who started life as a slave before becoming one of history's greatest philosophers, put it this way: don't seek for everything to happen as you wish it would, but rather wish that everything happens as it actually will. Then your life will flow well. Translation: stop demanding that life feel comfortable, because here's the reality: life doesn't care about your comfort. Relationships end, people die, jobs disappear, bodies break down, markets crash, plans fail. You can spend all your energy trying to avoid this reality, building bigger walls, seeking more control, numbing yourself with distractions, or you can accept that discomfort is built into existence and learn to move through it with skill. One path leads to constant anxiety, the other leads to freedom. Guess which one most people choose? Let me show you what this looks like in practice. There's this concept in psychology called experiential avoidance. It's when you organize your entire life around not feeling certain emotions. Don't want to feel anxious. Avoid anything uncertain, which means you never take risks, never grow, never build anything meaningful. Don't want to feel rejected. Never put yourself out there. Never share your real opinions. Never ask for what you want. I don't want to feel stupid. Never try new things. Never admit when you don't know something. Never learn. See the pattern. Every avoided feeling costs you something valuable. The alternative is experiential acceptance, not pretending you like discomfort, not forcing fake positivity, just acknowledging this feels hard and doing it anyway. This is the skill that changes everything. I started practicing this 3 years ago. Small stuff at first. I'm naturally introverted. Silence in conversations used to terrify me. I'd fill every gap with words, anything to avoid that awkward pause. So I made a rule. In every conversation, I'd wait 3 seconds before responding. Let the silence sit there, feel the discomfort. The first week was torture. My brain screamed at me to fill the space, but something weird happened. When I stopped rushing to fill silence, people started saying more interesting things. They'd think deeper, share stuff they wouldn't have if I'd interrupted. The discomfort I was avoiding was actually blocking better connection. Next, I tackled email. I had this habit of checking constantly. Every notification felt urgent. My attention was shredded. I set a rule: check twice a day, morning and afternoon. That's it. The first few days, I was convinced the world would end. Important things would slip through. People would be angry. Know what actually happened? Nothing. People waited. The urgent stuff wasn't actually urgent. And I got back hours of deep focus every week. The anxiety I was avoiding by checking email constantly was nothing compared to the anxiety I felt from never finishing meaningful work. Then I went bigger. Public speaking. Used to shake before presentations. Voice would crack. Mind would blank. So I just stopped saying yes to speaking opportunities. Problem solved, right? Except I was watching less capable people get promoted, land bigger clients, build influence, because they could communicate their ideas in rooms that mattered. My avoidance was costing me my career trajectory, so I joined Toastmasters. Forced myself to give a speech every week. First one was a disaster. Second one was worse. By the 10th one, I was still nervous, but I could function through it. By the 50th, I actually enjoyed it. The fear didn't disappear. I just expanded my capacity to hold fear and perform anyway. That's the secret nobody tells you. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's fear plus action. Here's where it gets interesting from a neuroscience standpoint. When you avoid something, your brain interprets that avoidance as confirmation that the thing is dangerous. We ran from this, so it must have been a real threat. This strengthens the fear pathway, makes it more automatic next time. But when you approach the thing you're afraid of and survive, your brain updates the model. Oh, we lived through this. Maybe it's not as dangerous as we thought. This is called extinction learning. You're not erasing the fear, you're teaching your brain a new response. Every time you do the uncomfortable thing and don't die, you're rewriting the code. The athlete who practices free throws under pressure doesn't stop feeling nervous during the championship game, but their brain has logged thousands of reps of "I felt nervous and succeeded anyway," so the nervousness doesn't derail performance. Same principle applies to every area of life. The person who regularly has difficult conversations doesn't stop finding confrontation uncomfortable, but they've proven to themselves they can handle it. So discomfort doesn't equal danger. This is trainable, systematically, deliberately. You're not waiting to get over your fear, you're building a tolerance for fear. So here's the framework. Step 1. Name your avoidance patterns. What are you organizing your life around not feeling? Write it down. Be honest. For me, it was rejection, looking stupid, conflict, uncertainty, being judged. Step 2. Identify the cost. What is this avoidance actually costing you? Not in theory, in real terms. My avoidance of public speaking cost me career opportunities, income, influence. My avoidance of conflict cost me authentic relationships. I had surface-level friendships with people I resented because I never addressed issues. Step 3. Pick one pattern to challenge. Don't try to fix everything at once. Choose one, the one that's costing you the most right now. Step 4. Design a progression. Start with a version of the discomfort that's manageable. Build from there. Afraid of public speaking? Start by speaking up in team meetings, then present to a small group, then a larger one, then strangers. Afraid of rejection? Start by asking for small things where no doesn't matter. A discount at a coffee shop, a small favor from a friend. Build tolerance. Step 5. Track your reps. This isn't about motivation. It's about accumulation. Every rep counts. Every time you feel the discomfort and do the thing anyway, you're laying down new neural pathways. Keep a log. Check off each time you practiced. Watch the evidence pile up. You're not trying to feel brave. You're trying to act despite not feeling brave. That's where the transformation happens. And look, there will be setbacks. Days where you backslide, where you avoid the thing you committed to facing. That's fine. This isn't a linear process. The question isn't, will I feel uncomfortable? It's, am I moving toward the discomfort or away from it? Direction matters more than speed. The person who faces one uncomfortable thing per week is lapping everyone sitting on the couch, convincing themselves they'll start when they feel ready. You'll never feel ready, that's the point. Ready is a feeling you get after you've already done the thing 100 times. If you're starting to see how this applies to your life, if you're realizing the ways you've been running from discomfort and how it's keeping you stuck, subscribe to this channel. Every week, I break down one practical challenge you can implement immediately. No theory, just what works. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss it. Here's what I want you to understand. The discomfort you're avoiding isn't protecting you, it's imprisoning you. Every time you choose the easy path, you're making the hard path harder. The gap between where you are and where you want to be gets wider, but every time you lean into discomfort, intentionally, you close that gap. You become more capable, more resilient, more free. The life you want, it's on the other side of the things you're currently avoiding. And the beautiful part, you don't have to do all of it today. You just have to do one thing, one uncomfortable thing today. Tomorrow, you do it again and again and again until the person you're avoiding becoming is just who you are. That version of you already exists. They're just waiting for you to stop running. So what's it going to be? Keep avoiding discomfort and watch your world shrink. Or face it deliberately and watch yourself expand. You already know the answer. Now comes the hard part, actually doing something about it. You want to know the fastest way to kill a relationship. Never disagree. Never bring up the thing that's bothering you. Never risk making the other person uncomfortable. Just keep it smooth. Keep it pleasant. Keep it safe. I did this for years. Thought I was being kind. Thought I was preserving the peace. What I was actually doing, building a relationship with a ghost. A version of me that didn't actually exist. And the other person, they were in a relationship with someone who wasn't real either. Here's what nobody tells you about people-pleasing. It's not generosity, it's cowardice dressed up as niceness. When you agree with everything someone says, you're not respecting them. You're avoiding the discomfort of potential conflict. When you never share what you actually think, you're not being accommodating. You're protecting yourself from the risk of rejection. When you laugh at jokes that aren't funny, nod along with opinions you disagree with, go along with plans you don't want, you're not being a good friend. You're being a mirror. And mirrors can't have real relationships. I learned this the hard way. I had this friend, Sarah. We'd known each other since college. Talked almost every day. On paper, we were close. But I noticed something over time. Every conversation followed the same pattern. She'd talk about her problems. I'd listen, offer support, ask follow-up questions. Then when I'd try to share what was going on with me, she'd change the subject, or give surface-level responses before steering back to herself. This went on for 2 years. I never said anything, because saying something would be uncomfortable, might upset her, might make things weird. So I just kept accepting it, kept being the supportive friend who never needed support back. I know what happened. I started resenting her. Every conversation felt like work. I'd see her name pop up on my phone and feel drained before I even answered. The friendship died slowly, not because of the imbalance, but because I never gave her the chance to fix it. I chose my comfort over the relationship's honesty. And honesty is the only thing that keeps relationships alive. The Stoics understood this better than most modern people do. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change. For I seek the truth. Not I'll be devastated, not I'll defend myself. I'll happily change." because he knew that comfort-seeking in relationships is just another form of avoiding reality. And when you avoid reality, you can't connect with anyone real. Think about the people you actually respect, the ones you trust, the relationships that matter. Are they the people who always agree with you, who never challenge you, who tell you what you want to hear? No. They're the people who tell you the truth, even when it stings, especially when it stings. The friend who says, "I think you're wrong about this," is giving you a gift. They're risking your comfort for your growth. The partner who says, "We need to talk about this pattern," is investing in the relationship. They're choosing long-term health over short-term peace. The colleague who gives you hard feedback is showing they care enough to help you improve. These people are rare because most people choose comfort. Let me show you what comfort-seeking does to different types of relationships. Romantic relationships. You stop saying what you need. "I don't want to seem demanding." You pretend things don't bother you. It's not a big deal. You avoid talking about the future because it might reveal incompatibility. Result, you end up in a relationship where you're perpetually unsatisfied. But you can't even articulate why, because you've trained your partner to believe you're happy with breadcrumbs. Then one day, you explode, or leave suddenly, and they're blindsided. You never said anything was wrong. Yeah, because you were too uncomfortable to be honest. Friendships, you say yes to every invitation, even when you're exhausted. "I don't want them to think I don't care." You bite your tongue when they do something that crosses a boundary. You never share when you're struggling because they have their own problems. Result, friendships that are a mile wide and an inch deep. You're surrounded by people who don't actually know you, and you don't know them either. Just polite strangers who share history. Professional relationships. You don't negotiate your salary. "I don't want to seem ungrateful." You take on extra work you don't have capacity for. "I don't want to let anyone down." You don't speak up when you disagree with a decision. "I don't want to rock the boat." Result, you build a career where you're underpaid, overworked, and voiceless. And the worst part? Nobody knows you're unhappy. You train them to think this is what you want. See the pattern. Every time you choose comfort over honesty, you're building a life that doesn't fit you. Here's the thing about conflict avoidance. It doesn't actually avoid conflict. It just delays it and makes it worse. That thing you didn't say 6 months ago, it's still there. It's been growing, collecting evidence, building resentment. Now it's not just, "Hey, when you interrupt me in meetings, it makes me feel unheard." Now it's, "You always interrupt me. You never respect my ideas. You clearly don't value my contributions." The small, manageable conversation became a relationship-ending explosion, all because you were too uncomfortable to have a 2-minute difficult conversation. I see this constantly. People would rather end a relationship than have an awkward conversation. Think about that. They'd rather lose the entire relationship than experience 15 minutes of discomfort. That's not protection. That's self-sabotage. So what does healthy discomfort in relationships actually look like? It looks like saying, "I disagree," without apologizing. Not "I'm sorry, but I actually think." Just "I think differently about this. Here's why." You're not being aggressive. You're being honest. There's a difference. It looks like setting boundaries, even when it disappoints people. "I can't take that on right now. I need some alone time this weekend." That doesn't work for me. No elaborate justifications, no guilt, just clarity. It looks like asking for what you need. "I need more support right now. Can we talk about how we're splitting the household work? I'd like more quality time together." Not hints, not passive-aggressive comments, direct requests. It looks like giving honest feedback. "I noticed you did X and it had Y impact. Can we talk about it?" Not sugarcoating, not sandwiching criticism between compliments. Just clear, direct, caring honesty.